morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome into the Harold Jaffe Jewelers Studios for Love My 419. I'm Andrew Z, sitting in for... Who am I sitting in for?
Everybody. It's really your job.
Andre Savage, Sandy Eisenberg. Steve Remy is off this week. He's got a rotator cuff surgery he's going through. We obviously wish him the best, and the show's not the same without him.
Absolutely.
And coming up on today's show, we're going to have a Meet the Candidates segment. We got the Lucas County Commissioner candidates, Sandy Spang and Gary Byers coming in to talk to us about why they want the jobs. That's going to be a lot of fun. Elections coming up Tuesday.
Right. Everybody better be voting.
I think it's a super important election. I
do too.
It's critical. Dare we say that the most vital election in the history of man?
I would say that. Look. Here's if you're
man and woman.
Yes.
If you're not a Trump supporter, and I know many of you are, but if you're not a Trump supporter, you should be scared to death about Tuesday, because on Wednesday, if the Republicans end up winning, this man will be emboldened, unchecked. You see what you've seen now? It's going to be times 10. And that's just the way it is. And of course, I guess if you're into Trump and dictatorship, well, it's going to be good for you too on Wednesday.
Yes. Welcome to the Left Wing program on Sundays that you look forward to, Northwest
And
Ohio.
happily
Yes.
left
Welcome
wing.
in.
Well,
hey, Bill.
But here's the but even if you're not left wing, I mean, you want to have some sort of check on it. You can't.
Well, I think the founding fathers meant the Constitution and the Bill of Rights to be checks on the different branches of government.
Well, we all got to have some kind of accountability, no matter what we're doing.
I mean, anybody.
Even we're raising young children, they're seeing all this.
But the man doesn't get it. You can't just write an executive order and say that if you're born in the United States, to people that have come here and are immigrants, if you're no longer a citizen in the United States. Right. That's not what they had in mind.
Well, what surprises me is my smart Republican friends, and they're lawyers. They're
bright, and they're business owners, and they run corporations,
and they're swallowing what he's doing. They're swallowing it. They're like, hey, I agree 100%.
That's how Hitler started. Thank you.
But listen, but one thing I do want to add that you don't hear enough.
It's the truth, though.
They indict the president over and over, though. But at the end of the day, what he's really doing is what he said he would do. I have to be honest. This is the first guy I've ever seen keep his doggone word. Though now we don't like maybe what's happening and this and that, but I do want to say that he did not throw a curveball. This is what he told you he was going to do. You didn't believe it.
There's
I understand that.
That's the problem.
So people vote though. You want to be heard. At the end of the day, you got to get
don't
out here and
if
get
you
to
don't
it.
vote.
Well, and here's something kind of interesting too. Is you always hear predictions about what side's going to win. Everyone is very careful with this one because of what happened in 2016, and they were so wrong. So no one wants to predict. So we don't know. Either Trump's the Republicans are gonna win this thing, and we were totally wrong, or maybe finally things are back on track as far as hey, because all the indications are that there's going to be a blue wave, but no one will say it because of what happened in 2016.
And it doesn't necessarily mean though a blue wave means success and prosperity and happiness. We don't know that, but a significant alternative does have to come in at some point because there's no balance on what's going on, and the office seems to have no authority whatsoever. And again, I can't be mad at Mr. Trump. So you have to know that at some point you cannot be unruly, and that's I don't know. But again, it's fun to me. I get it fun. I'm getting my red hat.
But you're a sports guy, Dre. It's just that
Condre West over here.
You're a sports guy, and let's say if you win a game, there's good winners and there's poor winners, and you've already won the presidency. Stop running and stop trying to stick the other side's nose in it as often as possible, because at some point you're the president of everyone. You need to unite as part, and just dividing it all turns.
He needs to cut back on his rhetoric because
of course,
every time he opens his mouth, he puts his foot in it to his knee, at least. But the bottom line is, stop running against Hillary. She lost. Give her a break.
Well, there you go. By the way, Sandy, I loved your costume. I saw the pictures from Halloween. She dressed up as a Republican, so it was a little shocking, but it was nice.
I've got to take off that white sheet and that pointed head.
And let's get started with the show, everyone.
Yes, we'll take a break. More hot topics coming up next.
Yeah.
Love My 419 is brought to you by Harold Jaffe Jewelers. Without them, there is no Love My 419, and without Love My 419, how would you know about all the wonderful people, places, businesses and things that make up the 419? So stop in to Harold Jaffe Jewelers anytime, Monday through Saturday, and let them know how much you appreciate them for bringing you the quality television like Love My 419. They're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you for watching Love My 419.
More Love My 419 coming up in a minute, but first, of course, our visit with Jeff Jaffe, Harold Jaffe Jewelers. How you doing, Jeff?
Good morning. Great to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Great to see you all. It's like deja vu all over.
I know.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Except the one on the end is a little change. Where's the Steve?
It's a stark contrast. I'll have you know. I'll have you know.
This is a straight Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
That's right.
So
Yes.
let me ask you, Jeff. We were talking off camera, and I'm super excited that diamonds are so passé. I mean, everyone's got diamonds, but you've really got. If you want to stand out and do something different and unique, you've got some really amazing stones.
I like the way you put that. But diamonds,
Amazing
wait a
stones.
minute. Diamonds will never be passé. Don't listen to what.
I'm trying to
don't listen
convince my
that.
fiance. that
Yeah,
that's
well,
the way it is.
good reason. No, but I was remarking that as many things as we have in cool diamonds, we've got some remarkable, unusual colored gemstones, things that you just don't see.
In beautiful settings.
Yeah, and of course we custom make so many things. But I was just as we were putting the inventory in this morning, I'm thinking, wow, we got some cool stuff here.
Can you believe?
But yeah, but more important. Go ahead. I'm
And
sorry.
also, you can even accent that with diamond, like put it.
Oh
some
yeah,
cool
yeah. A lot of
stones
them,
and then-
a lot of them need diamonds to
Yeah.
make them pop.
Yeah.
Right.
But enough about jewelry. I really want to get back to the campaign season. You know, we are always campaigning.
Always.
We need your vote. So, I've been hitting the mic. Sorry. So that means I really mean it. But
Except
we're
your heart's on the other
campaigning
side.
not just this week, not on Tuesday, year round, all the time. So we hope to be your jeweler. Come in and cast your vote with us. But in the meantime, everybody, all of
Yes.
you, get out and vote on Tuesday.
That's
it's
right.
very important.
It's very important.
Probably the most important midterm election in our
history.
lifetime.
Love My 419, brought to you in part by Amy's Cleaning Service, the Wonder Woman of cleaning. Feature your business now on Love My 419. Now back to Love My 419 on NBC 24.
Welcome back to Love My 419. I'm Andrew Z. We got Andre Savage. We got Sandy Eisenberg. Steve Remy is off this week. All right, Sandy. Voting is Tuesday. Lots of local stuff going on. Let's talk jail. What do you think?
Well, we don't talk anything first. Let's talk popcorn real quick
no,
before we move
popcorn.
on. I'm sorry.
Yes.
He's new here, Rachel.
No.
He's a new guy. He doesn't know the lay of the land here, but
Good popcorn at Rachel Michaels popcorn.
Food always trumps anything.
yeah,
Trumps.
that's right. We got in there, but I knew we
Try
would
not
move
to
this
use
along
that
quick.
name.
Sorry, Sandy.
Rachel, we love you. Listen, everybody get over there. She's on Monroe Street and right there next to a bar 145. So we love Brandon and those guys too. Hello,
Can I ask you a
everybody.
question?
Yes.
Is she still giving the free popcorn
That's
now?
what we're
What?
Still
Still?
killing them.
Wow.
Killing them. She loves
Yeah,
it. She
delicious.
swears by it.
Yeah, I love it.
Delish.
Go in there, and if you say, Love My 419, you will receive a free mini bag of the flavor of your choice.
That's right.
So
love
know
her
that.
popcorn.
And then she'll want you to buy the big bag, though. It's all
That's okay
Yeah, get
because
the
it's
big-
really good and
Yes.
they make
She's-
wonderful
You'll love
gifts.
She's kind of like a dealer. She gives you the first. She
Right.
gets you
Yeah,
hooked.
Get you hooked, and there you go.
Let's not try and.
You've gone too far if Sandy's speechless.
Yeah. You're getting squeamish over here. But all right, hot topics.
Jail.
419.
Let's talk jail. What do you think about this thing?
which
We know
one?
Sandy. Yeah, you've
I
been
hate-
going. This is
I
your
hate-
Downtown. The
All right.
downtown, north.
All right, absolutely. The new jail should be downtown
Of
with the
course.
ancillary services in close proximity.
Everything.
And just do it smart.
There's a whole part of the city that's been designed around the,
I was
the
just wondering,
justice
can
system.
I ask this? And I know
Dre didn't
I'm
want to
on-
go.
I'm on-
Dre didn't want to go to the north to visit all his cousins.
Right, I know
He wants to be
exactly. All
downtown.
the people I know I'm on the late freight on this one. But look, why did it even come up? Like, whose bright idea was this? I know.
Perkins.
Well, to move it
Put
to the north.
over on in North Toledo because he screwed up and they were going to buy the property on Angola Road, and there was such an outcry from the neighbors that they changed. Oh, we changed our mind.
Oh,
So
okay.
they paid $500,000 for this property. which good for the people that had the property, but I don't think it's very good for the voters of Lucas County.
No, you've got to keep it down. That's the center. This is the hub.
It's the hub of the justice system.
You know how much chaos and disorder you'll create just by that transition, and some people who mentally won't make that subconscious association.
Well, what about the poor people that there's no speaking of TARDA on the levy list this year?
Yeah.
Going out to Alexis Road when families can't drive and need a bus to get out to Alexis Road. What is there? 2 buses that go there from Central Avenue?
I was gonna
maybe.
say, yeah.
And they're saying that they need, that the jail needs upgrades. It's falling apart. Whatever. $190 million.
I think that'll fix it.
You know how many? Take half of it. You know how much that will
good
fix.
Fixer up. Yeah, good fixer up.
Why don't you give every prisoner $1 million? You still have money left over.
Well, not only that, it could feed 2 free world countries.
No, absolutely, yeah. It's
Third world.
It's too much. You got to keep it.
I mean, it's
downtown,
ridiculous.
Right?
And they keep pushing it and pushing it. There's places downtown adjacent to the federal building. It's adjacent. They can take that health department building down if they so feel. That also is very old and decrepit. But the jail originally, when it was built,
Well, speaking of jail,
was not designed by people that build and design jails.
Well,
and
and
speaking
then
of that, a
also,
lot of people in there for minor offenses too. We were going to
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead.
We gotta
Get
get
to issue 1 before
that's
we
a
get out
whole-
of here.
And I'm voting for issue 1 because at least it's a start in the right direction.
I agree. And also, we'll talk more about the jail issue with our candidates, Sandy Spang and, of course, Gary Byers
that's
coming
right.
up as well.
And the other thing is you got a TARDA levy.
TARDA levy,
They
TPS.
They got to stop buying monster buses. Buy smaller buses.
Right, and like you said, the TARDA, the TPS levy. There's a lot of stuff. Make sure you guys.
CSB,
Make sure
mental
you-
health.
CSB, make sure you guys-
Mental health, mental retardation. Those are all pros.
Yeah.
Mental health.
Go on.
mental
Go
CSB,
do some
TPS.
research. Make sure you vote on Tuesday.
Yes.
And then our Republican friends, the vote is Wednesday. So it's
Yeah.
Democrats on Tuesday, and then Republicans on Wednesday. Wasn't that what you told me, Sandy?
That's what
Is
I
that
told-
true? That's true, right? Okay.
And those
yeah, that's
that
what you
don't
told
vote
me.
on Wednesday can vote on Friday.
Okay, so if you're Republican, you vote on Wednesday or Friday. You have 2 spots. Democrats have to vote on
On
Tuesday,
Tuesday,
correct?
right.
Right, should I tell anybody? Bill Delaney called me and said he was switching parties.
What?
I won't say
What?
Lightning will strike.
Any information you need, 866 Our Vote is the number to call. More Love My 419 is on the way. Hang on.
Love My 419. Brought to you in part by Powell's Beauty Supply, servicing Toledo for over 30 years. Also brought to you by The Butler, Master Barber, changing lives one haircut at a time. Find him inside the Operations Barbershop, 1824 North Reynolds Road. Coming up, more Love My 419.
Welcome back to Love My 419. I'm Andrew Z. Sandy Eisenberg is here, and of course, Dre will be back coming up a little bit later on as we wrap the show up. But it's part of our election special, talking about the Lucas County Commissioner's spot for, of course, Carol Contrada, who's now retiring. But we've got Sandy Spang here, who is the Democrat, and we've got Gary Byers, Independent, and Gary Byers, who's the Democrat. All right. So let's start with you, Gary. What do you think is the number one most important issue that that you see as far as Lucas County is concerned?
I think, well, there's 2 issues. There's issues that people are talking about, and then issues that I think are important. Sure. Regionalization, I think, is one of the biggest things that we have going. Whether you're talking about working together on water, job workforce development, transportation, we got to find ways to work together as a region, because we're competing against the world. We're not competing against each other, whether it's Maumee or Oregon or Toledo. It's as a region to bring jobs to this community. The other big issue, obviously, is the detention facility, and where that's going to be, how it's going to be designed. All of the issues that are relating that are the 2 big issues that I see.
How do you fix the animosity of the suburbs towards the city when you talk about regionalization and everyone needing to be on board, whether you're talking transportation or water or any of them? I mean, there's really a lot of animos towards the city itself.
I think a lot of that's personality. I think we have to learn. We've forgotten how to disagree with civility. And Sandy and I, we talk about this quite often, that we can disagree on issues, but that doesn't mean that we have to demonize each other. And that practice of, well, if you're against me, then you're against me on everything. We just need to change the tone. And it's hard because it is personality driven, but I think it's something that we can do, that we have to do if we're going to compete as a region.
Of course, we don't want to tell people what you were saying about her before this segment started, before she walked in the door.
No, that was Sandy Eisenberg. I'm kidding.
She's fair game. All right, Sandy, what about you? What do you think is the biggest issue facing Lucas County?
Well, I think the long-term issue is restoring the lost population and growth that we've experienced. People realize that the city of Toledo has gone from 400,000 to about 280,000 folks, but the county also has had a net loss. It's not just people moving out of the city into the county. The county's had a net loss over 50,000 residents, and so I think that's the big long-term issue. The other thing that is really a centerpiece for me is our infant mortality rate. Our minority infant mortality rate is on a par with some third world countries. Lucas County
Really?
Lucas County is almost the worst county in America to be born a black male. And to me, that's kind of the canary in the mine that tells how we're doing with mental illness, substance abuse, access to food and medicine. So that's to me a great concern.
Wow, that's something new. I did not realize that.
I made a pledge to myself a couple years ago that every time I had an opportunity to speak publicly, I would try to weave that in. So even if I'm talking about wonderful economic development, I'll say, but we have challenges too, and I'll talk about that because I think we as a community need to gather around that number. That is a shameful number.
Let's talk about you brought it up, Gary, the jail, downtown, Northtown, the new jail.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on it?
Basically, it can be, I assume it's going to be built in North Toledo because that's where the county purchased the property. But it could also be downtown. My big issue that I've been talking to voters about is that we need to make sure that it's designed properly. Because right now the current jail is so inefficient, we're literally losing hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because of those inefficiencies. We need to have ratios that are reasonable as far as between supervisory officers and inmates. Corrections officers, thank you. You see, she was county commissioner. Did you know that?
She's teaching us the lingo.
That's right. But you need to design it so that it's effective and efficient, and you need to have it on one level so you're not spending all of this personnel transporting between floors. It's a need that we need to communicate to the community. We need a new detention facility, but we're also going to do some additional things with that. We're going to have a solution center so we can talk about mental health counseling. We can talk about drug and alcohol treatment. If we can divert folks from the criminal justice system before they're charged, and that's part of the MacArthur grant that we had talked about before. That's better for everybody. It's better for their treatment, it's better for the community, and it is more effective and saves dollars.
Sandy, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would agree with some of the statements that Gary's made. I think there are a few things that are important to me. The Solution Center, we should do that now. We don't have any door to take people through with mental illness. We know that it's estimated that about half the people incarcerated nationally have mental illness, and some estimates say it's even a higher number locally. And so I think moving forward with that as quickly as possible, that's only about 10% of the proposed cost, but it will enable us to get some data that will help us determine how many beds we really need. I have an open mind about the location. There was a study in 2004 that proposed that we could use the health department site for a jail, but it would probably be that stacked jail rather than that one story. But I have an open mind. I'm concerned about the process. I don't think that, being on city council, you're used to this really granular level of engagement with the public, and we've been through some tough land use issues since I've been on council. We've handled the ProMedica parking garage, the Kroger issue. And so you're used to really engaging with the public, getting those answers for them, and I don't think that's happened, so I'm concerned about the process. Also concerned about the price tag. 37 years is a long time to pay for a building. So the operational savings that were promised, I want to see those applied to early retirement of that debt, not unlike what we saw with Fifth Third Field.
Right.
Well, it's like $180 million.
186.
Sandy, you were saying that when they built the last jail, 12 million, and people were going bonkers.
They were going bonkers. The Blade call it a Taj Mahal. And they haven't said boo about $186 million sitting out in North Toledo.
Sandy Spang, Gary Byers, more with them coming up next. It's our election special here on Love My 419.
Nationwide Auto Finance wants to thank you. We are moving tons of vehicles and always restocking our inventory. Come see our cars, trucks, and SUVs, models as new as 2016 and miles as low as 20,000. Bring us your trade-in. Drag it, push it, pull it. We don't care how you get it here. We need your old vehicle, and you need a new one. For 20 years, we've been your buy here, pay here dealer, and we still are. Lenders are waiting to approve you. Bring us your trade-in. Bring us your valid license, latest pay stub, and down payment, and we will get you in a vehicle at Nationwide Auto Finance.
Jiu-jitsu, hell no, I don't box, I just own the network. Graduated straight from Rome, summa cum laude, they just wanna know my network. I'm just trying to network, you just trying to bitch about the money you ain't never earned. Chances you ain't never taken, these were the thoughts when I was living in my mama's basement.
Welcome back to the Love My 419 election special. I'm Andrew Z. Sandy Eisenberg is here, and we have our candidates for Lucas County Commissioner. We got Gary Byers over here and Sandy Spang right next to us. And I know that obviously you guys have had meetings and had been at coffees and with each other, meet the candidates through this whole campaign season. So you kind of know where each other are coming from. What would you say, Gary, of Sandy's that you disagree with? Out of her stances, out of her policies, out of what she would do, what would you disagree with most strongly?
I guess the thing that we need to do something tangible to create the discussions that she's talked about. And the tangible thing I would recommend is having meetings after work, at least once a month. You know, let's have commissioners meetings at 5 o'clock so people don't have to take a vacation day to come see what county government's doing and have real conversations. You also agree that there should be real conversations. My idea is let's do it once a month, have an after work meeting that people can come to without taking a vacation day.
Of course, we do that on City Council. We have later meetings that the public can more easily attend.
What would you say that you most strongly disagree with about Gary's positions?
Well, I would say it's probably the idea of the, forgive me, Gary, but the college loan payback program. Now, you know, the Associated General Contractors are working on a program where if you stay with your trade for 5 years, you'll get $20,000 college loan payback. But I think to propose something where you haven't got the funding yet. So that would probably be the thing that I would say. And you know, we have to have the jobs here. I think that most college graduates with debt are going to go where they're going to get the highest paying job. And that's what's going to lure them rather than the promise of a loan buyback. So since you forced me.
I know. Well,
it's a nice idea.
To be honest with you, go ahead. I'm sure you
I
want
mean,
to say something about that.
You know, the idea is that you offset student loan debt up to $10,000 and you have a scholarship fund that if people with college degrees locate back to Lucas County, they can get up to $10,000 off their student loan debt. And it's not the sole solution. I never said that it was.
Right.
But it's a step in the right direction. We need to get more of the college graduates to come back home.
Well, and it's something that you said, Sandy, about, hey, we got to find a way to keep people here.
Well, that's
and then, Sandy, you brought up a point off camera, I think it was, about it's too bad there aren't two positions, because even when I asked you guys to say, hey, what do you disagree on, it's just so civil. It's so civil. It's very little, and it's like in today's politics,
well,
it's refreshing. Go ahead, Sandy.
The feds could take a lesson.
Yeah, and like you said, Sandy, you wish there were two spots because you think they're both qualified, and the Blade said you're both qualified. So I mean,
so it's local government. And you know, there's a book called The New Localism that I'm a big fan of, and this idea that is the state and federal governments really seem less relevant to what's happening in our lives. Local governments, even though their resources are very thin, it's really where the creativity and the innovation is, and it's because you have to seek partnerships with private and nonprofit entities. Right. So people just want you to find solutions that are practical, that are nonpartisan, and it's local government.
It's local government, which means it's the closest to the people.
That's right.
And we have to lead by example.
Right.
I mean, you can't say that I want a civil discussion and then berate each other. It makes no sense.
No.
And people know that on a guttural
Well, there are
level.
some morons that don't get it.
Well, let me ask you this: the insanity of the national politics. I mean, that's
Yeah, that's what's scarier than anything.
The meanness of it is just
and the
unconscionable.
problem is that the local stuff doesn't get as much coverage because it's not intelligent, it's not sexy, it's not if you're not arguing, it's not sexy, and that's unfortunately where we've come from the media side of things too. And it's unless you're saying something really bad about them, it doesn't make the news. I mean,
that's
or
a
vice
function
versa.
of the 24-hour news cycle.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just it's sad. We're gonna say, Sandy.
Well, what I think is really the saddest part of all is that we've gotten so used to the negativity and the nasty things that are, I mean, nothing really faces us anymore.
How far are we gonna go? I mean,
that's the scary part.
I know. All right. Tuesday's the vote, of course. You guys get
Vote
out.
early, vote often.
Vote.
No.
Wait, what? Gary, come on.
I'm kidding.
Gary, that's a felony. That's a felony.
Actually, I was kind of kidding.
You're allowed to kid on the show. We get it. Anyone that takes you serious, I don't want them voting because they obviously don't have grasp of reality. Gary Byers, Sandy Spang, both running for Lucas County Commissioner, and vote on Tuesday. We'll take a break, come back more at our election special coming up next.
Nationwide Auto Finance wants to thank you. We are moving tons of vehicles and always restocking our inventory. Come see our cars, trucks, and SUVs, models as new as 2016 and miles as low as 20,000. Bring us your trade-in. Drag it, push it, pull it. We don't care how you get it here. We need your old vehicle, and you need a new one. For 20 years, we've been your buy here, pay here dealer, and we still are. Lenders are waiting to approve you. Bring us your trade-in. Bring us your valid license, latest pay stub, and down payment, and we will get you in a vehicle at Nationwide Auto Finance.
Welcome back, everyone. As we get set to wrap up Love My 419, first I want to say, hey, Steve. Steve is recovering from rotator cuff surgery,
Which is tough.
Yes, he'll be back to pitch again very soon.
Whoa.
All right, final thoughts, Dre?
You know what? This has been a great show. I'm excited. You know what I mean? We have the people coming in that matter.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what I mean?
they also are the people that make things happen.
Exactly.
In this town.
Exactly. They matter. They make the decisions, and so we're very proud of that and very excited about that. You know, we kind of pass over that a little bit here, but no, it's not wasted on us. So we're just proud of that. We like that. And my announcement is still coming. You forgot about the announcement.
Oh no, I didn't.
There's still an announcement. People.
Oh,
there's
all
an
right.
announcement. Oh yeah, 2019 is a big situation. That's what I want to do. I want to
Sandy, what do you got? Final thought?
Final thoughts. I thought we handled the two candidates for county commissioner
Very well.
quite well.
You didn't get to talk a lot.
You know what though? It was nice. Jim, I was there for so many years, but it was nice listening to a breath of fresh air on how other people think things should be done in the county, and it's not just a one track.
And their conduct was cool though.
Yeah.
They were very civil. They were respectful
They were
of each
civil,
other. You don't see that.
They were congenial.
In today's politics, it was refreshing. You
Yeah.
know, and one thing, I wish we could keep the cameras rolling during commercial break, because when they first came in, they both got on one knee and kissed Sandy's ring.
Yeah.
So that
that's
was
right. Yeah, yeah.
which
They
is
had to get-
which is proper.
They
But
had to
no
get the
rings
authority.
today,
No
kids,
rings.
so that's mine.
Yep, the foremost authority, ladies
I just want to
and
say, hey,
gentlemen.
make sure you guys go out and vote, and thanks for having me back, Dre.
No,
It was
brother,
a lot of fun.
hey, man, I'm
It
just glad
was
to see you, man.
a surprise.
It's
I know, Sandy
emotional.
was
It's
shocked.
emotional right now as we
I know.
close. I don't know what to say right now.
Oh.
But we were happy you came back and
Thank
said
you. I had
hi.
a great-
You
great
look great,
time.
and your baby's beautiful.
Thank you for
Yes.
Andre Savage, Sandy Eisenberg. I'm Andrew C. We'll see you next week. Coming up next, the Today Show right here on Love My 419.